ESPN SportsCenter.
I'm Chris Berman. Let's get straight to the action. In our first game this week, we had the Broncos narrowly coming out on top by 5. In San Diego, right by Coronado Bay, we had the Chargers come away with a tie. In a long-standing NFC rivalry, we had the Saints pick up their first win of the year. Reggie Williams had a stellar game, but all said and done, his performance wasn't enough to lift his team to a victory. Devery Henderson had over 50 yards receiving and helped his Texans beat the Vikings. Over at the RCA Dome, we had the Colts stroll away with a 14-point win. The Packers defense held their opponents to under 150 passing yards in their win at Lambeau Field. The Bills won on the road and will now head home to meet the Dolphins. We had an interesting free agency pickup of note here. Trey's got the lowdown for us. Trey?
All right, Chris. Let's switch gears and talk about players that'll have new homes in the National Football League, as free agency continues to play such a huge role in determining a team's makeup. This guy is going to find himself with a new club, and he'll be in a new tax bracket too. 4 years, $1.2 million. Rob Meyer is on the move, as you see, as he accepts a pretty good offer to leave his current club. 4 years, $2.6 million. Bailey is on the move as well, as he signs a 3-year contract with the Saints.
Up in the Pacific Northwest in Seattle, the city by the Sound, we had the Seahawks get sent away with a 7-point loss. We had a big injury in this one, and Trey has the lowdown for us. Trey?
All right, Boomer, thanks. In front of you, we've got the AFC Infirmary Report. And as you can see, they were hit hard this week. Tony Gonzalez won't see action for a while, so this offense is going to have to make do without him. He's suffering from a pulled calf muscle, and that'll keep him out for 4 weeks. In front of you, we've got the NFC list. And as you can see, they could form their own MASH unit. Peter Sermon might be the biggest loss on this list. A hairline fracture of the arm is the initial report, and the doctors are saying he'll be out for the rest of the regular season. There's a chance, however, they'll get him back for the playoffs. Now we'll move on to our top story of the day. Trent Green is going to find himself on the shelf, and that will be a major blow to his team. So that'll do it for now. Boomer, back to you.
Dennis Northcutt had a stellar game, but all said and done, his performance wasn't enough to lift his team to a victory. In a long-standing AFC rivalry, we had the Steelers pick up their 3rd win of the season. Lavernius Coles had over 50 yards receiving and helped his Cardinals beat the 49ers. Down in Texas Stadium, we had the Cowboys squeeze out a 4-point victory. And in our final game, we had the Ravens come away with a tie. So another week in the books here on ESPN, but what do you say we hand out a few game balls before we go? Here's my primetime players. That'll do it, sports fans. I'm Chris Berman, and thanks so much for joining us here in the Bristol studios. We'll see you next week right here on ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports.